Hey guys, I sitting here watching Ox Tools, Meatloaf turn this guy down. Then left the lane very discouraged yesterday morning, day before maybe, doing some threading, and we got to where the feed control lever, when there was any torque applied, was jumping out of gear on the forward feed from right to left. And you've all heard the clanging and gnashing of gears. I did come across another method of threading where I wasn't constantly changing the feed lever. So what I originally was doing, what I intend to do, is engage the half nut, get the machine turned on, everything's set, engage the half nut, and then engage the feed. Okay, get to the end of my thread, disengage the feed, reverse the feed, and that can all be done while the chuck is turning under 317 RPMs, according to the labeling on the machine, the tags. So what I ended up doing to save the machine's banging and clanging of gears was engaging basically reversing the feed lever with the half nut lever. So I kept the feed lever in the forward position, feeding right to left, and started and stopped the threading with the half nut lever. So, and that worked out fine. Then it started jumping out of gear when any maximum torque was involved. I discovered what the problem is, and hopefully it's just a lubrication problem. This thing hasn't. Last night I was messing with it, and I was get it to consistently lock into gear and stay there at lock in at a low RPM, and then raise the RPM, and it wouldn't jump out. But I did find the problem, and whether or not the problem involves replacing parts or not, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that it's just a case of getting those parts lubricated, getting them back in the habit of moving that direction. And I can show it to you. We're going to go handheld because I dropped my camera in the camera holder the other day and busted it for the second time. And I'm not even, as well as the super glue worked the last time, I'm not even going to try this time. So we're going to have to come up with something different for our camera mount. Well, let me show you what we've got here. And there's a little prep. There's also, I have a package that arrived today. So let me do a little preparatory work here. I already have these screws unscrewed. Tell you what, I'm going to pause this and get the camera set up so I can do this hands-free. Okay, I'll show you. This is on the gearbox, the threading gearbox. Okay. Okay. Right here is the end of the feed rod. which runs all the way down to the apron. I'll put my finger over here. It runs like this, all the way down to the, that's better. Okay, it runs down through here, all the way down to the apron, and to the end of the machine. Okay, so it activates, there's a worm gear down here, and there's a 10-tooth gear, I'm going to call it, right here. So basically it's a 1 1/4 inch block with 10 teeth on it. It's a segment of a gear, you might say. And there's another one here, and then there's another one here with its mate. So when I am feeding left to right, this goes down, which forces this clockwise and forces this down. That engages the gearbox. Okay, now when I want to feed right to left, I'll hit the lever there. Now this has changed positions. This is now counterclockwise, draw this up, and when it's clanging, I believe it's engaged. Yeah, so it's engaged now. So let's try to get it unengaged. Well, it doesn't want to. Okay, so what's happening when it doesn't want to disengage on me right now? So what's happening when this gear here turns counterclockwise, it brings this up. And when it starts clanging, and if I do this, I can give this thing a little lift. See, it's in position now. It's up all the way. Therefore, it's locked in. So basically, this is not reliably bringing this up all the way. If it starts clanging, I can bring this tool here and pry this up, and it goes right into gear, no problems. And the only problem is there shouldn't be a problem. But so there's neutral. There's feed right. So it takes a turn or two for it to catch on feed right. Now let's go feed left. So obviously right now we're filming, there's no problems, it works fine. But when you hear that clanging, what it is this piece here is not fully engaged, which causes trouble inside here. The teeth look okay. I mean, the teeth don't really show any wear at all, you know. And I'm thinking, you know, could I, you know, if I could get a shim in there, a soft, you know, 2 or 3 thousandths shim that would just stay in there permanently and travel with that, that might be a solution. Getting this thing out, getting these 2 gears off, looks like a major campaign. Now let's look at some adjustments. Okay, over here there's a cap head screw and a locking bolt, and that goes down here, and that goes into this casing. And as far as I can tell, let's find the right wrench. Not sure what exactly it is doing, but I got it in a position where it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. And then I found another adjustment that's related to this. And I thought, well, there we go. We're going to have and there's some set screws here, here, and here. And you can loosen those up and blah, blah, blah. But you're not going to change the position of any of this by moving these set screws in or out. Now, this is pinned in. No, that's not pinned in. Doesn't look like it, but there's definitely a... no, that's maybe something to look at. There's definitely a home that set screw has made a divot in there. And if I had to, I guess I could reposition it and use a dog nose set screw and maybe even make a little detent in there. Anyway, let me show you the adjustment that I found. And like I said, I don't know how sensitive this is or what it's doing. I've screwed it in and out both directions, no discernible change. It was never, I thought, well, this thing's going to be all locked up and froze, but there's no spring. I was expecting to find a spring in there also. But there's no spring, and it's really not engaging with anything right now. Nothing. And now it's starting to tighten up. But and I'm just going to leave it tight this time. Well, no, I'm going to back it back out. And the reason that thing is bleeding the way it is I shot a bunch of oil in there. I took the screw out and shot a bunch of oil in there, just in case I might be lubricating something. Likewise here. Let's see if I can get you on this. Okay, that's got to be driving you bananas. Okay, so that's where that lies. If the, I still think if I could get a piece of material gnashed between those gears, like a couple thousandths thick shim, copper shim or something, that might give the gears more engagement. That's probably a real rookie idea, but then there's this screw here, which really doesn't do much that I can see, other than not sure why they even put that there, other than cover that. Maybe if you were disassembling the machine, you would probably unscrew that to pull that pin out all the way. That pin engages with these teeth here. And you can see it's not fully engaged here. In other words, this one, let me get this out of my hand. Now you see the difference? So now that's fully engaged in that slot there. So let's go out. And once again, that is not fully engaged. And then when it is, I want you to watch this. Watch this when I engage that. So now we're watching here. So I don't know if that just moved at all or not, but yeah, that's right now everything's working just fine. So enough of that. Okay, let me get this back on here. Okay, now we can look at the mail. Okay. I got an invitation from another YouTuber to come by his house. Maybe he was inviting himself over here. That would be fine also. Find out who that was real quick. He lives within an hour of my house, and it was something that I would definitely be interested in doing. So we got a nice, pretty nice box. So they got, you know, I guess they have points for that. Okay, and we have some literature. My daughter has a master's in literature. She's going to be wealthy with knowledge from all the literature she's studying. Okay, there's the cam pins, cam lock pins, I guess we're going to call them. That's what I'm going to call them. We should have 6 of those. They should be 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and we're going to put those back in the foam. And I'm assuming there's going to be 6 screws here. Yes, kind of a dog-eared socket head screw. Hopefully all those are, yeah, they're stuffed all over the place here. There's 2, 4, 6. Okay, so there goes that. Very nice. Packaged very well. Look at that. You can't beat that, man. Somebody was paying attention when they did this. You see that? What a great box. I'm kind of queer for boxes anyway. We have here is a direct fit, adjustable 5C pallet jack. Might as well take advantage of this beautiful packaging they sent. It's got a ball oiler here.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say it.
We have a set screw here, an Allen head, and we have a set screw here. We have a set screw here. So we have a set screw here, no idea, oiler opposite it. And then here we have a set screw. (180 degrees). Well, hold on, there's more than one. There's 4 of them. So those are your true set screws. That's how you get your, how you eliminate all your runouts. There's the oiler. Here's the bottom. And there is a I don't know if that's a dab of grease in there. Yeah, that's a dab of grease. I think there's supposed to be a spline to line up on when you stick this in. And that's what that little dab of grease was. That little dab of grease was on, what is it? No. Okay. So there's a little protrusion there that lines up the, I don't know anything about this, but I've seen people stick the collet in there and turn it until it hits finds its home. A little sharp up here. I'm paranoid that you're not seeing anything. Yeah, you can see it all. Nice inside here. A little sharp right here. That's good, I guess. Very nice finish on this. Nice here as well. The back plate is chamfered nicely. These surfaces here will cut you, but there's no need for them to be chamfered. And we have these 3 holes here. I imagine that might be an alternative mounting program. Maybe there's 3 holes there like that. So it looks like a what do they call it when the hole has a bottom in it? Yeah. Okay. Well. Now, it's just a matter of, oh, and there's a chuck key. And it has the spring on it, of course. So, that's all my money. That's the end of the budget for this year. On my little hobby out here. What happened to that chuck key? You know what? I should put this back in the bag. I'll do that. Well, here's the key. And the key fits right in there. Very nice. I'm very impressed with the packaging. Is that terrible? Well, that's it. I've explored my woes and hopes with the Pratt Whitney. You know, despite the little problems like not staying in gear. Yeah, you know, what the hell? You know what? I love this machine. I can't believe it's mine. I can't believe it's sitting in my room here. Really, it blows me away. I mean, I started here, and I think this is starting my 3rd year, maybe, of operating a mini lathe. It's not 4. It's more than, you know, And I believe I'm going into my 3rd year. So I've been on this thing for 2 years. It is, my chuck weighs more than the entire machine. My headstock is bigger than the entire machine. And part of me wants to get the extension, the bed extension, but there's no need for it now. With the collet changer, I'll be able to do 1/16, 1/8 rod, you know, more than 6 inches, which is about my max on here. I don't know that I'll ever get rid of this though. Mostly, well, and would never expect to get all my money back out of it because I've gotten way too much enjoyment out of it. And I only just got the 6-jaw chuck recently, and I love that. I'm gonna figure out a way to utilize the 6-jaw chuck on my tailstock on the Precision Matthews. I mean, that won't be cool. I want to thank everybody for their, I don't even know where the camera's at. I want to thank everybody for their advice on my threading questions. You know, I've cut internal threads, you know, hundreds of times. I've cut internal and internal threads, you know, many times. I've cut them to where they've matched each other, you know, odd, random sizes a dozen times, maybe between a half dozen and a dozen times where I was satisfied with the match. But like Rustinox, Michelle said, and like many of you said as well, I was just reading it, you know, I got the answers, you know, the answers are in the book. Of course, I don't have the book, but I have a book that'll get me there. So, thanks guys for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. Have a great day.